PetVivo has innovative tools for the management of osteoarthritis in animals. With me, the CEO, Judd, to bring us up to date on the expansion, because you've really accelerated over the past couple of years.
So in October of 2022, we had about 50 clinics and a few states using the product. As of July, we're over 500 clinics and we're in 49 states. We got one lone holdout, Vermont. I haven't figured that one out. So we're going to get Vermont here real soon. Okay. And this is all being done just within the equine space. So we're very excited to have multiple studies that I've talked about in the past that will be coming to market for felines and canines. With those studies, it gives our distribution team and sales team ammunition in terms of educational data to the veterinary doctors, where they're, one, feeling it's totally safe, this product is safe, can't do any harm, and that will lead to adoption of the product. And they're also showing very good data in reduction of increased mobility and reduction of pain in dogs and cats and so on.
Now, you mentioned safe, and This is a natural product,
yes,
which is one thing I know a lot of people like about. Describe the product for people. Maybe we've done several interviews. Yeah. Maybe this is the first one somebody's seen. So
sure. So Spring is what I describe as an extracellular matrix. So the base proteins are collagen, elastin, and heparin. It's actually the protein particles that build cartilage and tissue in the human body. So it's the same when you're dealing with dogs and horses. So once the product, we sell it to the veterinary doctors. The veterinary doctors do what's called an intra-articular injection. So the particles going into the joint will seek out areas where cartilage used to be and starts to form a scaffolding. That's the uniqueness of the product, is that you don't get an instant improvement and then diminishing efficacy. Ours actually, once it's injected, the scaffolding builds over the next 6 months. So the joint actually improves over the next 6 months' time. And one of the benefits that we have seen is we believe it lasts at least a year. When we did our human studies, we tracked it a year, but in the real world application, we've seen beyond that. One of the external benefits is that we have seen a dramatic reduction in the need of pharmaceutical products once Spring is in. We have seen one dog where they were on 6 different meds, and within 30 days, they're off all 6 meds. So the problem when you're dealing with pharmaceuticals or biologics, there's inherent side effects to them. So with NSAIDs like Rumidel and so on, it causes potential gastrointestinal tract bleeding, stomach ulcers, and over time, liver and kidney failures. Those are all. Our product basically has no side effects. Because it is natural, the body sees it as naturally being there. There's no autoimmune response to try to reject the particles. So we feel that there's a lot of external benefits beyond just the increase in mobility and pain reduction of the animal.
This is a great time to bring in Judd, because you talked about dogs, and you're the owner of Sit Happens, New York. So tell me about your business and what you're doing that involves the Spring product.
Okay, great. Thanks. Good to be here. I own a company called Sit Happens Dog Training. I'm based in New York City and on Long Island. And we've been in business about 25 years now, training all sorts of pet dogs, working dogs, etc. My experience came when my veterinarian introduced me to my last and final option that nobody really knew about yet, and hopefully everyone's going to know about sooner than later, with a dog that was nearing 15 years old. My own personal dog, Joey, is a Schnoodle, a Schnauzer Poodle mix, and had knee surgeries called TPLOs, and was suffering from osteoarthritis, and his knee joint was basically incapacitated. Couldn't even get up off the ground. Our veterinarian said there's this new thing called Spring, we should give it a shot. So long story short, we did do this injection, and within a matter of days, it was absolute magic, absolute magic. My dog was up, walking, and on a trail within a week. So it completely saved his life, his quality of life. I had then recommended it to several other customers with dogs that were one younger, one older, one that was totally lame after a knee surgery and never bared weight. And within that first week, I was helping that person walk that dog completely normally on all fours. Absolute game changer.
Amazing. And that was really before, because you mentioned sometimes it's off label, or I don't know what the right word.
Well, yeah, so doctors, human doctors or veterinary can use the product for whatever they want. Yeah, so we have automatic clearance by the animal side of the FDA because we did this human study where the human side of the FDA declared our particles as a medical device, human medical device. So it automatically gets classified as an animal medical device. And because of that medical device designation, pet insurance covers it. So that's one of the major windfalls. So there's other new products coming out, but they're not covered under insurance. And the regimen is a lot longer in terms of injections, and the likelihood of success is much lower than ours.
I mean, it's really interesting. You talked about the dog that was late.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden walking within just a week.
Yeah.
It's amazing. And is it just one shot or?
Yeah, he can actually tell you. For me, it was only one initial. So specifically on my dog and this other dog, this dog had a knee surgery about 13, 14 months prior, called the TPLO, tibial plateau leveling osteotomy. It was a surgery of the knee. And he recovered, but he never really ever bared weight on that leg again. And there was a lot of atrophy in the muscle. It was really withered away in there. So I had made this suggestion based upon my own amazing results with my own dog, and went back, put a harness on the dog, and I believe it was 4 or 5 days later. It was in that first week. And this was a customer of mine. I was working with a younger dog of theirs. They have 3 dogs. So I made a suggestion. I took them outside and we started walking, and this gentleman's wife came out. She was in tears. She had not seen her dog actually walk in just about 13, 14 months now. So I gave him a protocol on how to do therapy, and he's fine today. He's walking around today. He's really, it was for me. It was super exciting because this is something that completely transformed the life for my family with our own dog, and my dog's life particularly. And then that went on to a dog that does work out on Long Island for retired Marines who are PTSD and other things. A service dog, a customer of mine, is a golden retriever, was having some elbow issues, and tried the steroids and things. Those were short, kind of lived and pain management. But I went to see that dog yesterday, and he's hanging out. He's really, he's doing super, super well, walking around, totally different, magnificent change in the management of how these dogs are living.
Okay. Now we talked about dogs, and of course horses. Cats
Yes.
are also a possibility. And then,
Well, it's not a possibility. It's being used, even though we haven't issued the paperwork. And, the human side is very intriguing because once we have this data from the animal side, it really helps support the human side, okay? We've already done what is called a lot of the CRO work, which is the human side determining how do you present it to the FDA? What are the trials that will get you approved through the FDA? And more importantly, how do you position and make the claims that insurance will reimburse? They're basic. I can't think of any product that's performed well that doesn't have human insurance reimbursement. So that's one of the key drivers. And this is how Wall Street or a private equity fund would value is the CRO report, time to market, and the total addressable market of that product.
well, that'll be very interesting. And I'm sure going through that FDA process is much more stringent.
Yeah, but we already done a lot of it. So we got safety because we did 145-person human trials. That's how we got the human medical device. So it's a lot easier for us since we already declared by the FDA as a human medical device. So the difference is from a pharmacology or biologics is you don't have to do phase 3 with our human medical device. We can, in theory, go into a 510K, which we probably won't choose because the 510K is much harder to get insurance reimbursement. We would do what's a PMA, and that's about a 2 to 3 year process. But then with that, the likelihood of getting insurance reimbursement is much higher.
Judd, any final thoughts or any other stories you want to share?
I can tell you I'm hoping myself to be an advocate for this product for sure. I'm going to keep promoting it as much as I can, because almost on a daily basis, I'm seeing, if it isn't a dog that I'm working with a family, it could be their older dog, and they don't have that information. And just a total and true believer. It's funny because sometimes you see some things and you say, if I could do it, you could do it. But I've done it, and I did it, and it works, and it's great. It's amazing. And for me, it's the future of management for these types of things. It's something we haven't had before, and it's pretty amazing. So I look forward to more cases of good results.
John, any other additional information?
Just keep an eye on our website and keep up to date. Join the Twitter account, join the LinkedIn, and so on, because we provide a lot of information on that, and follow our nonprofit, PetVivoCares.org, because they're doing a lot of good things to help people.
Yeah, well, thank you so much, John, and thank you, Judd.
Thanks.
Thanks for your stories, and I'm sure pet owners will be thanking you.
Yep. Thank you, Jane.